Hello, race fans. This is Larry Supermouth Huffman, AMA Hall of Fame announcer, and this isn't Supercross. It's Wednesday! And you're watching Bay Fishing with Roman and Brian. Stand by while the boys teach secrets of bay bass fishing with Roman on his 6-second nitro-burning pedal drive kayak, and Brian in his Cool Baits high-speed dragster boat that he takes out every Sunday. Be there!
Well. What up, everybody? Am I plugged in? Am I muted? Oh, it sounds good. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Fishy Hour. Today, we have results for Spotty Bowl LAOC round 1 of the playoffs. But before we get started, let's bring in the 3-time Spotty Bowl champ himself, Mr. Brian Likes to Fish. What up? Are you muted?
I don't know.
There you go.
The beginning, before I come on the show, I have to clear my throat and cough a few times, get ready for this long talking fest. So I don't like to. I always keep it on mute just in case. I don't want to hear these guys hear me coughing and
Coughing a lung back
clear my
there.
throat. That's right.
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Welcome to the show. I'm so happy to be here. Today is Wednesday. We're here every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tune in for a fishy good time. All right, so we're going to give the first comment of the evening to Mr. Corey King.
Yo, Corey King. Shout out.
And we're going to give the first like of the evening to Mr. Carl Black. What up, Carl? My headphones are acting up, but I can't hear you, Brian. Just say check 1 2 so I can check the meter.
Check 1 2. Check.
Oh,
Check
good,
1 2.
You're good.
All right.
Alrighty, boys. If you guys can, if either of us sound too low or too high, I mean, I think I have it worked out now. Okay. All right. Continue with the shout outs. Shout out to Mr. Steven Gage. What up, Steven? Thanks for tuning in. Mr. Brian Likes to Fish. What up, Brian? HD Bates in the house. What up, David? Welcome to the stream.
What's up, David?
Larry Eskery, welcome to the stream. I got Sammy in the house. We got Davy's World. What up, Davey? Good to see you in here. I got Ken Fishing Full in the house. I got Dave Rage. Captain Dan says 6/26/76. Happy 48th anniversary to the MV Spirit of Adventure. That's
cool.
That's cool.
That's the ship Captain Dan Captain, if I'm right?
Mm-hmm. Are you on the right microphone?
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting. Okay. I think my headphones are acting up or something. That's weird. All right. We
Those are
got shout out to Mr. Dave Rage. We got some homework for you, Dave. Also, Hook Up Bates in the house. What up, Chad? Good to see you in here.
Yo, Chad.
Salty Dangler in the house. The Judge, Jared Bracht. All right, we have a quorum. We can start the show. But first, let's get into the first thing we do here on the show, and that is it's time for a little pop top. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best pop top you've ever heard in your life, 1 being the worst, rate this pop top.
Pop top. Where's that? Dude, I'm excited about this. Brand new. Have you ever had this? Does that show up? Topo Chico sparkling in a can.
That's
ever had it?
Nope.
I like it. I like it in a bottle. Let's see how it is in a can. You right? Let's see here. Do some maneuvering. Wait. Okay.
That sounds like you turn on the Hubble, the comlink for the Hubble telescope. The James Webb telescope intercom. There is life out there from the sound of it.
I have a fan going. For anybody else besides me and the Judge that lives in Ramona, it's like it feels like 110, but it's probably only like 95. But let's just say she's warm in here tonight, guys.
That's wild. All right, put your score in the chat. After that, you can put in what you're having today as a tasty, refreshing beverage.
Captain Dan 10, Dave 10, Sammy 100.
Captain Dan put 10 before you even pop-topped.
Whatever. They know what's coming.
All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best pop top you ever heard in your life, 1 being the worst, rate this pop top.
Nice. Pretty good.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
All right, guys. If you saw the thumbnail, guess what? We fished our very first round 1 in LAOC up there, Alamitos Bay. Everybody that made the playoffs fished this weekend, and guess what? Unfortunately, half of you are your spotty boat's over, which means you get to go out there and just fun fish.
Oh yeah.
The other half moving forward to the next round. During this show, we're going to announce the results, going to show the new playoff brackets, and we're also going to show the San Diego playoff brackets, which is this weekend, and we're going to do some PB shout-outs, and I have submitted a few cast or cut. If you don't know what that is, hang out, you're going to find out. And we got that going tonight, and also Spotty Bowl Biggins. Everybody that caught a fish 15 inches or bigger is going to be in Biggins. All right, you ready for some announcements?
Ready. Let's do this.
First announcement, you guys in round 2, San Diego, guess what? You're fishing this weekend in glorious Mission Bay. It's going to be warm. It's going to be busy out there. Not when we're out there, though. Those pleasure boaters don't get out there till like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. So us fishermen will be fine out there. But it's Mission Bay. By now, you've probably already got with your partner and declared what day you're going to fish. So a lot of us are fishing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The declared day is Saturday, though. But Mission Bay, that's where we're going to be fishing against. Round 2, San Diego. After this, Roman, there's only we're going to eliminate that half of the people. And it's just the championship guys, the final rounder. So fish hard at Mission Bay this weekend, guys. Should be a lot of fun. I think fishing is going to be good in there. We'll see.
That's wild.
I know.
That's good, though.
I love Mission Bay. I love it. I love it. I love it. Next thing up, so you guys that move on to round 2 up in LA, you're going to be fishing, going back to Newport. I know a lot of these guys are happy. They're going to be going back to Newport, similar to Mission Bay. It's got grass, little. I think it's maybe a little bigger than Mission Bay, but similar.
Yeah.
But we're moving back. The guys that went on are moving back to Newport, and you'll be fishing on the designated day of July 20th. So, wait, I'm sorry, not July 20th. July 6th. I'm ahead of myself. July 6th. So after the show, when you figure out who's moving forward, get with your person you're competing against and figure out your day. But the designated day is Newport, July 6th. All right. Last announcement about Spotty Bowl is July 20th. We said this every single week. July 20th is the award ceremony where we'll be giving out all the cash prizes, all the sponsor prizes. And if you're lucky enough, hold on a second here. If you're lucky enough to get Angler of the Year, first place in a division, and a few of the side pots are going to get these too. You're going to go, and this is where you'll receive your plaque. So anybody that got a first place in Spotty Bowl will get a first place plaque. The Angler of the Year will get a first place or get a plaque, and a few of the side pots. So show up, and that's where you'll receive this. You get that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. I have one more announcement, actually. Sorry, Brian.
Yeah,
jump in real quick. We have shirts for Spotty Bowl 2024 still available on the shop. Also, we had Grizzly Angler Company put together some custom rollable fish mats, and they did some with our logo on there for the Spotty Bowl 2024. Unfortunately, you can't use this for Spotty Bowl, but they're nice and handy to have around when you're shore pounding or on a boat and you don't want to take a big bulky measuring device. You can roll this guy out. It comes in gray or black, and there's only 3 of each left. So we made a total of 8. So somebody bought a gray and a black, and now there's only 3 of each. If you want one, they're limited. And it's on the site, shop.romancastro.com. It's also where you can get the Spotty Bowl official swag stickers, boxy fit shirts, or tapered fit shirts, wherever you happen to be buff in the midsection or in the... we still got the Spotty flags. We got the MMFC gear. We got the Bay Bass Pro shirts. All this stuff. Yeah. Stickers, I love that shirts, and of course the fish hour shirt, and the I would but I'm fishing that day shirt. Got the Angry Butt shirts.
Got a fish hour shirt. I'd love to see somebody walking around with that. That'd be so cool. Right.
You got the Angry Butt shirt, so now everybody's girlfriend can have a nice butt on her back. And and the No Skunk Days logo stuff going on. I have some wipeout stuff, some jiu-jitsu stuff I put together. But anyway, check out the shop. Let's take it away.
Yeah, so on July 20th, too, Fastlane Kayak, that's where we're having it, right? Fastlane Kayak Center. There's a little spot between the Dana Landing, tackle shop / sandwich shop. This table's out front, fast lane. We're going to be set up right there, which is awesome. Thanks, Ron, for go ahead and letting us use that space. But Ron is also bringing out that 4-pedal, what do you call that thing? That kayak with sits 4 people?
The Hobie Fiesta, because we have
the Hobie Fiesta is going to be out
right there
in Dana Landing, and we've got 2 teams signed up to compete. I don't know what they're going to do. It sounds like they're going to do a little run around Dana maybe on it.
I'll tell you exactly what you're going to do. This is the Fiesta right there on the screen. So you're going to be it's 5 teams of 4 people each because it's a 4-seater. Okay. Ron and his guys are going to set up not an obstacle course, but just like some buoys. You have to go around those buoys and back in the least amount of time. It's like a drag race. So it's a Hobie Fiesta drag race timed. So then when you do that, if your team wins, the winning team gets to go into the shop there and pick 1 shirt for each of your people in your team. So 4 shirts total from any of the Salty Crew shirts that are in there, right? I think T-shirts, not like the button-ups and stuff. But anyway, it's cool to get a T-shirt. It's free to participate. You just got to sign up. And just because you participate, any of the teams that are any of the teams that are in any of the 5 teams will be in a drawing that's more random. So you could win the race and this thing, right? Well, it'll just be whoever wins. And Ron's going to put together 4 gifts for the winning team that gets drawn. And you guys have to figure out who gets what gift. So so it might be a fist fight in the parking lot afterwards. But anyway.
You can flip a coin.
You guys can figure that piece out. But Ron's going to give you guys a gift just for participating. So even if you feel like you're not going to win the race, you can still win. So we have, I think, 3 spots left. I would have 2 teams, and 1 team is in the works. If you guys want to put together a team with, I think Roy down in SD is trying to put a team together. So if you have 1 or 2 other people or 3 other people that you want to put a team together, but you need 1 guy, get together with Roy. He's what's his name on here? It's down in SD. You can find him in our Discord server and get a team together with him. If you want to start a whole team on your own, all you gotta do is get together with 4 people and you know you gotta show up for the event, and then just DM me with the name of your team and the people that are in your team, and I'll get that list over to Ron. He's setting it to 5 max. Okay, it's gonna be quick. It's gonna be fun, and you get to win some more stuff.
Salty Dangler says 4 broken drives incoming. Oh, yeah. So anyway, Dave Rage put together a team of 4 to represent our MMFC, pick some people. I would suggest, I'm going to be too busy with the results, but I would suggest putting Salty Dangler as the kicker on the back. You ever seen Salty's legs? They're like tree trunks, man. So Dave Rage, Salty Dangler, grab another 2 people, put together a team for the MFC. Yakuza's already got a team, guys. HD Bates, why don't you guys put together a team? Why don't you guys put together some club teams, you know? If the Yak Ninjas are out there, Dino, if you're watching, put together a team. So there you go.
You see 4 guys.
4 guys. Yeah, I've already assigned 2. Dave Rage and Salty Dangler.
Yeah, so there's 2 teams already formed and 1 in the works, and there's 3 spots left.
Dave says he's been walking lately.
Oh,
all right.
Oh, there you go.
He's all ready to go. Hey, that's gonna be a fun event. All right. So there's going to be food there for the first 100 people. There's also the sandwich shop right there if you want to get yourself one of those awesome sandwiches. And don't forget to go into Fastlane and thank them for sponsoring and giving away a $300 prize to the people in San Diego every round, too. So thank Fastlane too when you guys get there.
I'm sorry we're doing so many announcements, guys, but July 27th, the weekend after the Spotty Bowl awards, we're trying to put together an MMFC Armada, which means anybody with a boat that wants to have other people on their boat and make the trek from Dana Point to the Catalina Islands, just a 1-day trip. The guys will split the gas with you. If you want to volunteer and bring your boat out, we're looking for people to do it with. Right now we just have 1 boat and we're booked. So if you're asking about it and you have a boat, let me know. And then we'll let other people know how many spots we have open. So it's kind of a new thing we're trying. It's a new angle for us because we don't really always fish pelagic fish, but it'd be nice to go out there and look for fish in a big armada, basically a big group. So
we usually do it at least once or twice a summer. You know, we had my boat, Muto's boat. I think Captain Dan's gone once a few times. we've gone out there a few times. It's a good time. So hopefully we'll get some more boats participating in that. Okay. Any other announcements from you, Roman?
I think that's it. Let's get this done.
Yeah, that's right, Arnie. 38 people or 380 people watching on the 19 likes. Let's get that pumped up. Let's build this channel here. We want to get that hot tube pontoon boat, 1,000 subscribers. So.
Oh my god.
Okay, guys. So if you guys have noticed, if you've been outside lately, if you've gotten off Minecraft or whatever you're playing and gone outside and felt that it's summertime, it's hot out.
Nice.
So one thing when we were in Mexico and I saw the judge and he didn't have any sunscreen on, he's a man out there. I was like, dude. I gave him one of these buffs, right? So I'm gonna recommend you guys always wear a buff in the sun. I like because some of us don't like sunscreen, especially when you're fishing. It gets sweaty, it gets in your eye. But I want to show you the difference in some of these buffs. This is a free one I got at a Bloody Decks tournament. It's like a cotton one. When you open it up, right, it's kind of just a different color on the inside. And I gave the judge one of these, and he said he didn't like it because it's hard to breathe through, right? So if you have that problem with a buff, guess what? They make buffs like this Sims one, a little more expensive, a little more thinner material, I guess, a little stretchier, but they actually have holes in the front, guys. So if you think it's hard to breathe through, grab the little more expensive ones. They have breathing holes in the front, and they also have some that just have this mesh front. So I know when it's hot out, it's hard to breathe through these things, but trust me, you're going to want this sun protection, especially this weekend. It's going to be full sun. It's going to be hot, 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 Roman. So buffs, hats, long sleeve shirts. Let's cover up, guys. All right. All right, guys. So if you've never watched this show and seen a cut or cast, Roman is going to put up a poll after. My job is to try to sell these things. I'm going to try to convince you that this is a good idea. And Roman's going to put up a poll, and you guys on chat are going to vote if this is a cut. You're not going to do this, or cast. I might try that. That looks like a good idea. So we're going to do a cut or cast. So you got the sound. Cut or cast sound ready to go.
I do. Are we going to do it now?
We're going to do this one right now. We also have another one later in PB Shouts with pictures, but this is what I'm going to do live.
Cast. Cut or cast.
All right, here we go. I'm ready.
Okay. All right, guys. So I've been fishing for a long time, right? And I've noticed over the years that when I go to set my hook, I reel in with my left hand, which is the correct hand. And because I use my power arm to set the hook, right, the rod like jabs into my ribs. And my ribs, I think, are like permanently, like if I feel this area, it's always tender. For like the past 5 years, it's just a tender area because all the setting those hooks, I set them hard. Yeah, Salty Dangler, I've almost taken them out a few times. So set them hard. So trying to think of a way to protect my ribs, so they're not so tender all the time. And I was online and I saw a Major League Fishing bass tournament guy with one of these. Have you ever seen this?
Oh, okay.
Have you ever seen what one of these are? You know what that is?
This is the back of your rod, right?
Oh, yeah. So I haven't used it yet, but I'm excited to try this. It looks kind of weird, but basically it's like a foam ball that you just slide on the end of your rod right here. And when you go to set your hook, it's like a pad, for us left-handy guys that swing it super hard, especially like an A-rig. Throughout the day, maybe this will be a little pad on your side and help you out. I know when I shore pound, I'm wearing my backpack, right? So I have like a strap right here. When I go to set my hook, it feels nice because I got a little protection there.
All right. Well, Brian continues to sell it.
What do you guys think? I'm trying to sell this thing. What do you guys think?
Or cast.
Rod, what do you call this thing?
Cut or cast.
Rod butt protection.
Rod butt.
Would you guys try
protection.
this? It just look too lame. It look like I'm like I'm giving up.
Or cast.
I think it's a review on how this works. Has anybody ever used one of these? I don't know. I saw the pro guys use it. I don't know if he's just trying to sell it, but
yeah, it does look like a gear shifter. Arnie said it looks like a gear shifter. It does.
It does look like it, but it's like soft. It's like I don't know. It's just like a piece of foam. It's a $14 piece of foam. So you can get them online.
Larry said bruises are badges of honor.
These are? All right, I'll take that. I thought it was going to be like,
bruises are badges of honor. And then Corey says, sure, Nancy. Oh, even JoJo said cut. Oh.
I know. Hey, but the guys I think that fish with their right hand don't have.
Captain Dad said not even for little fish. Oh my God, you're getting destroyed.
Oh my God.
All right, even still 65%. All right, here we go. We're
you have 65-pound braid
or cast.
Ending the poll.
You swing that thing.
How many people voted?
All day long.
210 people voted.
Yep.
And with 210, it's moving back.
Oh wait, I haven't voted yet. I haven't used it yet, but
oh. That's so good. Oh, Dale shot said it works for Bluefin. There you go. All right, here we go. Ending the poll, cut or cast, and this one is a.
Oh,
it's a cut.
I guess I didn't sell it hard enough. It's, it's kind of weird looking. I know it's hard to stick it in a rod holder. I know I try to sell it, but hey,
yeah, it does make it awkward for a rod holder.
Sorry, whoever makes this thing. Yeah, I know. But hey,
I guess we gotta cancel that sponsorship.
I think maybe too, because a lot of these guys are kayak fishermen. When you're in a boat, you're like standing up and you're like,
you can put that on your hip. Yeah, it's true.
You are ripping hook sets, especially like big calicos and stuff. Dang. All right. And I think that is it for this cut or cast. We got another one coming up on PB Shoutouts. And the next one, I think, is a really good one. Steven Gage put that thing in. I've never seen this done before. It looks pretty cool to me. Are you ready for some results?
Ready. Let's do this.
These guys are waiting for this. All right. So here we go. We fished Alamitos Bay round 1 playoffs. And let me tell you, Alamitos Bay, that bay is hit or miss, man. Sometimes it's like you just can't miss, and then some days it's a little tough to get a legal up there. So let's start out with the shore division. We had the top 4 guys fish shore division up there, and we had the number 2 seed versus the number 3 seed, which is Phil Hernandez. Number 2 seed versus the number 3 seed, Vinny Stroop. And moving on to round 2, actually the championship round. Moving on to the championship round,
okay,
with 66.75 inches is Phil Hernandez. Congratulations, Phil. Vinny had a rough day for 1.75. You'll get it next year, Vinny. But Phil Hernandez, congratulations. I think that's part of Team HD Baits too.
Oh,
so
nice.
Congratulations on that. Moving on to the championship round, Phil. All right. Shore division, we had the number 1 seed angler of the year, Kevin Keller, versus the number 4 seed, Pancho Pantera. And moving on to the championship final round with a score of 63 inches even, your number 1 seed, Kevin Keller. Congratulations, Kevin. Congratulations. Poncho pulled in a 52.5. I think he had a rough day with only 4 fish, and that happens. Sure, if you can't find them, you can't find them. Sure, it's not easy sometimes. You can only move so much. So I'll show the playoff bracket, but for that one's pretty easy. Kevin Keller, your number 1 seed for the season, will be facing the number 2 seed, Phil Hernandez, and one of you two guys is going to go home with one of those belts. That's pretty exciting, eh?
That's cool.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's already there.
So, cheer on your favorite shore pounder champion this year, guys. Congratulations, you guys, for making it to that final round. That's awesome. So there you go. And I think I saw the question of how do we decide 3rd or 4th place. I think with this, we take this bag, and whoever won between the 3rd and 4th place in this round, their score determines if they get 3rd or 4th place. So confirm that with me, Judge, but I think that's how this works on the final 4.
You can get a belt, Okuma reel.
Yeah,
money.
Dude.
Wow.
Kuma Hakai reel too. It's nice, guys.
Maybe just walk
over
over
right here behind me.
Maybe just walk over to Fast and get yourself a new kayak. Gee.
Ooh. Trade in that belt. Maybe they'll give you.
No, because they'll get cash, right?
That's right. Yeah,
first
you're gonna have
place,
cash. You get a wad of cash. First,
bring your briefcase with the handcuff on there, dude. Dang.
So when you guys are fishing in round, let me think about this. Round 2, I want to mention this to you. You're also fishing for 3rd and 4th place too. Yeah. So and 5th and 6th, I guess, in the other divisions. All right, Weekend Warrior division. We had 8 people fish.
Nice.
Yeah, so these are the top 8 spotty bowlers. Unfortunately, half of you going home. We're gonna start this out with the number 3 seed, Davey Brown, who's in chat right now. What's up, Davey Brown? Check out his interview from Akuma against the number 6 seed, 6 Sandoval. And moving on to round 2, LAOC Weekend Warriors with 77 inches, 6 Sandoval. Congratulations, Sandoval.
Dang, 77 inches? That's like a big bag, dude.
That is a huge bag. Wow, what a day to pull out a huge bag.
Jumping
I think
off the top rope, dude. People's elbow. Jeez.
That might be his PB bag.
Probably his best bag of the tournament, right?
I think I'm not exactly sure, but that's a big bag right there. Davey pulled out a 69.5. That's a good bag too, Davey. Just wasn't quite enough. So, Dave, you're off to ICAST. Congratulations for making the playoffs. Okay, next up, we got the number 2 seed versus the number 7 seed. Your number 2 seed being Sammy Prim, and your number 7 seed being Angel Salgado. What's up, dude? Finally got to beat you out on the water this weekend. And coming in, moving on to the next round, round 2, LAOC with 57 inches even. That is Sammy Prim. Congratulations, Sammy. Ooh. I know you were probably sweating on that one. Unfortunately, Angel, I saw him. He said the only fish he caught was a sculpin, so he pulled a 0. I know. That's what I was saying. Alamitos, you got like
playoffs are crazy,
with the 77, and Angel, who's an awesome angler, could not find him. So that's hit or miss up there. But congratulations, Sammy. You are moving on with 57 inches. All right. Then we have your number 4 seed versus your number 5 seed. The horse that Roman's been cheering for all year. We're so happy this guy made the playoffs. We've seen him go from not being able to catch a fish to catching a fish to catching 5 fish to making the playoffs. The number 5 seed, Carl Black. What's up, Carl? Versus the number 4 seed, Lim Cruz. Got to meet him too out on the water. What's up, Lim? Nice meeting you. And moving on to round 2, LAOC Weekend Warrior with 71 inches, Lim Cruz is moving on. Coming out 67.5. That's a good bag, Carl. We're proud of you making the playoffs.
Nice
You
job,
get it
Carl.
next year, man. Went from not making playoffs all year number 5 seed. Lim Cruz, congratulations. You are moving on to the next round. 71 inches. So good bag.
Wow.
Weekend Warrior division, we had the number 1 seed and angler of the year, Larry Biker Board, coming in, and we had him against Vinny Stroop, who's doing shore and Weekend Warriors, number 8 seed. And moving on to round 2, LAOC with a 74-inch bag, Biker Board, Larry. Congratulations, Larry.
Good job, Larry. Wow.
His blood pressure just went, I know Larry's stressing over that going against Vinny. You know what? Vinny's an awesome angler. You never know what he's going to throw out. Vinny, 71.5. That's an awesome bag. Just didn't get that one kicker fish, it sounds like. Yeah. So congratulations, Larry, for moving on to the next round. All right. We ready for the Masters division?
Yeah, this is wild.
I know. This is playoffs, guys. This is exciting. Exciting stuff right here. All right. We had your number 3 seed versus, I'm sorry, I'm starting off wrong here. We had your number 2 seed versus your number 7 seed. First ever. No, it's not the first ever. Maybe it is. I think Mason and his dad fished each other. But we had a father-son show off. Dad versus son. The number 2 seed, Cash, versus his dad, number 7 seed. And moving on to the next round, I wonder if Cash told his dad what he got.
Bittersweet, dude.
He walked in the house with a smile. Coming in, this is unbeatable in my eyes, with a 79-inch bag, crushing his dad. Cash, you're moving on to round 2. Congratulations.
Oh my God.
79-inch bag, Dave.
As a dad, you can't even get mad, dude. You gotta be proud of your boy. That's awesome. Yeah,
that's right.
That's
and
so
Dad
good.
coming in with a 39-inch bag. Good job, Dad. Way to go. So congratulations, Jared and Cash.
That's so fun. That's cool.
Now you can sit back and watch your son compete, which is going to be awesome. 79-inch bag, Cash. Wow, that's amazing. Wow, I think that's his PB bag too. It's got to be his PB bag.
Yeah.
So,
I think so.
Way to pull out a clutch bag.
So close to that 80 too.
Bag. Even if your dad got a huge bag, he's probably gonna be that 79. Dude, that's a huge bag. So cool, Cash. All right, coming in with your number 3 seed versus your number 6 seed. This is a rematch from last year's championship round. We had Keith Michael versus Chad at Hookup Baits.
Oh yeah.
2 huge swingers gotta face each other before the final round. So this is a rematch coming in. Last year, Chad won the championship up there in LA, took home the belt. And so coming in and moving on to the next round with a huge bag of 78.75. Chad, you're moving on to round 2. Congratulations.
Oh my God, this is a huge bag. That's good. Nice job, Chad.
Keith coming in with a 73.5. Keith's probably not happy with that bag. He usually pulls out, I think he pulled out a 79 last week in that same bay. So, man, it's all about getting that kicker fish. Keith, awesome year. Got number 3 seed this year. Congratulations, Keith, on that. But year's playoffs is over. We'll see, though. Better show up this year down at the award ceremony. Okay, who haven't I got here?
That's so good.
Okay, your number 4 seed versus your number 5 seed. That would be number 4B, Brian Likes to Fish, versus Mike Brown, Spotty Stalker. I'm super nervous because, dude, that guy's breaking 8-pound bag. And moving on to round 2 with a 79-inch bag. That would be this guy, Brian Likes to Fish. Mike Brown coming in with a 72.5, 79-inch bag for me.
Still very decent bag.
It just got lucky, man. It was whoever was going to get lucky between Mike and I got lucky, I guess. So moving on to the next round, Brian Likes to Fish.
It's weird how many 79s. It's been at least 3 or 4.
Right? Chad 78.5, me 79, and Cash 79. Yeah. So, man, are we all catching the same fish? Okay, then we had your number 1 seed, Brett Wilson, Angler of the Year, versus your number 8 seed, Chet Pratt, who is your Weekend Warrior champion from last year. If you remember, he took that belt to work, showed it off. What's up, Chet?
That's right.
And moving on, like I said, number 1 seed versus number 8 seed. Moving on to round 2, this guy's been sweating it with a 73.5. Brett Wilson moving on to the next round. Congratulations, Brett. Chet, thank you for stepping up to Masters. You made playoffs. You had a good bag of 68.5. It just wasn't quite enough. Hard to find those kickers. All right, Roman, I'm going to go to my screen share here, and I'm going to show you the playoff brackets now that everybody knows who has won.
Wow. All right, do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't already. If you're watching from a tablet or a phone, you might need to exit the chat, hit that like, and then jump back into the chat. All right, let's get on the screen and see the brackets for playoffs.
Mike, you're funny.
Windows, co-hosts, co-host screen. There it is.
Here we go. LAOC playoffs. Let's see how the brackets are going to go. All right, here we go. First off, I want to show these belts off. You guys that are fishing the playoffs, this is what you win. Anglers of the Year is a huge prize. Those have already been decided, Angler Year. But to become the Spotty Bowl champion, you have to win in the playoffs. And playoffs is crazy. I've never seen a tournament where you fish 1 versus 1. One person goes home, one person moves on. And that final round, dude, that's pretty intense. I've fished it many times, and if you make it to that final round, dude, it's exciting. Let's just say that.
You know what my favorite part? My favorite part of these belts is, dude, when you see people wear them to like PCS or whatever. That's so good.
I take mine, dude, and people when I work with Vito or
at the show, it's awesome.
When I work up there at these shows, I'll bring the belts and I'll just kind of lay them out on the table or dangle on the side, and people will put them on, take pictures. I mean, it's so cool to own one of these. They're just like it's super unique. Everybody knows spotted bay bass, and they go like, "Wait, there's a belt for it." And I try to describe them how to get it. And if you get one of these, it's a super awesome thing to
like
earn. You earn these things too. They're not given to you. This is like hard. Not only you have to make the playoffs, but then you got to beat 4 people. Oh man, it's tough. Anyway, I want to thank Todd for making these belts. Hopefully, Todd, if you're in chat, are you going to be at the July 20th? Hopefully, he'll be down there, guys, so you guys can all thank him and let him know that we appreciate his hard work, him and the judge working hard for us to get this awesome tournament going on. The gold standard, I call it, of Spotty tournaments. We try to run it legit, professionally, awesome, as good as we can. And I think it's working out. I think this tournament's going to grow and grow and grow. It's an awesome tournament. Everybody that's involved is doing a great job. I appreciate all you sponsors, everybody that does everything, Roman, everybody. But that's the belt you're going for. Thank Todd when you see him. All right. Anglers of the Year, we already announced that. There's the San Diego Anglers of the Year. There's our LAOC Anglers of the Year. I want to give those guys a shout out because that was a huge accomplishment to get that. So all you guys that got Anglers of the Year, congratulations on that. And here we go. First playoff bracket. Bam. Round 1, Alamitos results. So it's all the way down to the championship round in the shore division, only because we have the top 4 on that. So Phil Hernandez, Kevin Keller, you guys get to choose what bay you fish in shore, so you guys can bounce around however you want. July 19th, I think, or 20th is for you guys. July, you can fish all the way July 19th. Decide on a day and fish that. If you have any questions, get together with a judge about that. But there is our final championship round right there. Number 1 seed versus number 2 seed. Let's see where this goes. Your weekend warrior division, bam, here we go. Larry E has moved on, and he'll be facing in Newport Lem Cruz, the number 1 versus the number 4 seed. So get together, guys, figure out what day you're going to fish. Designated day up there is, I think, July 6th. I don't have my notes. July 6th, I think it is. So get together with that. And Sammy Prim moving on, and 6 Sandoval moving on. You guys will be facing number 2 versus the number 6. So there you go. And whoever wins out of those 4 will be going on to the championship round for that belt.
Wow. That's cool.
Exciting. And I'll put all this, guys. I'll put all this in the Discord later, so if you want to look at it. And your number 1 seed moving on, Brett Wilson versus your number 4 seed. Brian likes to fish. Come on, Brett. Let's do it. Newport. I don't get myself very
Oh, that's a good matchup.
Brett has got Newport down. Let's just say, dude. Gosh. So I'll give him my best swing, but Brett.
I got Cash and Chad. These are.
And then we got Cash and Chad versus each other.
It's a tough.
That's a tough matchup too. Yeah. Chad's always clutch, man. You got to have a really good round to beat that guy.
But if it would have been this week, Cash would have beat him by half an inch, right?
I think, a quarter inch.
Oh, wow.
The Newport's a little different. I don't know if we're going to see 79-inch bags out of there. I don't know, maybe, but that's a good matchup.
Oh, Cash versus Chad.
Had a good year. Chad's always had a good year going, so we'll see. I know.
That's good.
Go. Cash versus Chad. That's exciting. Yeah. No pressure.
Basically, Chad, it's a win-win for Chad, right? It's a win-win for you, Chad. You're good.
Hookup bait versus hookup bait. Yeah. And me and Brett, it's going to be fun, Brett. Let's do this. All right. Next up, I'm going to show the San Diego just because. So this weekend is in Mission Bay. I will be fishing against in shore division. I'll be fishing in the shore division. We fish anywhere we want in San Diego. I'll be fishing against Oliver SD Fishing, and Alex Norton will be fishing against Aaron Endicott. We've already decided our days. We're going to go. And Weekend Warriors, Jim will be facing Lars. Chris will be facing Derek.
Dang.
Dale Shaw pulling out the upset there, fishing Charlie. Luke versus Kevin this weekend. Mission Bay, guys. And in Masters, I have to fish the judge. So.
Oh, dang.
I know. What the heck?
Friends become enemies. Frenemies.
How does this happen? I'm cheering for you, Judge. Imagine the judge moves on the championship and wins this whole thing. Not only being the judge, but
I guess it beat you too. Dang.
If you get past me, Judge, you got 2 other big hitters over there.
I know.
You got Danny Martinez. So yeah, the top 4.
Shark Tank.
Moving on. Dang, yeah, that's gonna be some good times right there. So Mission Bay, let's see how this goes. We'll have the results for that next Wednesday. All right, I think that's it for this. And I'm gonna exit my screen share moment.
Super cool. That's exciting. It's crazy to see how far into the tournament we already are. I mean, it's almost over.
Yeah.
Wow.
Basically, two more rounds. So one more going to the championship round, and then it'll be just the top 2 guys fishing against each other. So a lot of people's Spotty Bowl is already over. There's only a handful of people left. All right, and with that, guys, I want to give just a little bit of advice. We don't get to talk a lot about fishing on this show because we're doing so many results. But I want to give a little bit of advice to a guy that I've fished. Believe it or not, Roman, I fished 74 rounds of Spotty Bowl regular season, and this will be my 25th playoff round. So I think I've learned a little bit through those rounds. If they enter 3 divisions a year. So I want to give a few hints into going into Mission Bay this weekend and going into Newport up there next weekend. Probably the same thing. And that is a preparation, the details in this going up there. These tournaments are won basically on 2 fish. These guys are all so good that if you can land those 2 kicker fish, how many times have I heard, Roman, have we heard, I had a huge one, I lost it, right? So the preparation, I think, is total key, and it's not about catching all those fish. It's about landing those 2 kicker fish. So you don't want to let those things get away. And I think probably the thing that is probably that we're all lazy, right? We're lazy anglers. Where's my rod at? So what we get lazy on, and I think this is one of the number 1 things I see that people lose their big fish, is on this leader line. Before you go out, the night before, the week before, don't leave on that old crusty leader line. Replace this thing for a fresh round. And while you're fishing, take that grubby hand of yours, that fisherman hand, that meat mitten, whatever you want to call it, and feel this leader line. If throughout your round, if you notice that has a little fray, or you touch it and it's got a little nick on it or anything, make sure you stop, trim it down, and tie a new knot, because that is, you may make it through some small fish, but when you hook into one of those 16 inchers, if you've got a little fray in your line, make sure you replace that, because you don't want to hook into that thing. That's your tournament winning fish, right? And that little fray breaks off and you've lost your big fish, and guess what? No Spotty Bowl champion. So my number one advice would be to make sure your leader is in good shape. Replace it before you go out. Don't use the same leader like 3 sessions in a row. Next thing is make sure your gear's working properly. When you get out there, if you haven't checked your gear the night before, it's all crusty from the last time casting out there. You go out there for your first cast, which could be the most important cast. Sometimes that first 30 minutes of the day is the most important. That might be when you start finding the fish. You go out there and this thing's not casting right, or it's backlashing, something's wrong with it. Check your gear, your reel, before you go out, so that way that your first morning bite, you're ready to go. You know your gear is going to work properly, your drag set up. And when I say check it, when you cut off your leader line, make sure it's spinning freely. Even take that spool out, clean it, put a little oil on it, check your bearings, put a little oil nose, and then maybe in the garage, check to see if it's working correctly. Not so much for the spinning reels, those are pretty basic, but the casting reels, you don't want to be dealing with gear the very first thing in the morning. Yep. Chad says he typically replaces his leader 1 or 2 times during his round. So, Chad, I'm the same way. If I see that thing, because we're catching these things in pylons and rocks, and if you just see that little fray, you don't want to lose a big fish, because that's what's going to win your tournament. Don't worry about catching 100. You need to catch that big one. You need to catch the big one. So it's the details in it, guys. Last thing I'm going to recommend is if you have any type of bait that has something mechanical on it, like a blade, spinner blade for example. So if you're fishing, let's say the spinner bait, make sure before you go out that these things aren't seized up. All these things have moving parts on them. And if you fished with this, got back from your practice session or last round and just put it up on the shelf, left it on the rod, when you go to cast this thing, it's not doing its job correctly, which is spinning. It's probably just fluttering. And that means that bait's not working 100%, and the odds of it catching a fish they may still catch a fish, but the odds of catching a fish have gone down dramatically. So check all your moving parts on all your baits the night before you go out. If you want, like on mine, I'll take them and I'd spin them. If they don't feel quite right, I take one of these little oil. You can buy these little bearing oil or reel oils or whatever. And they got a nice little like needle tip on the end of them. And you just take that and maybe put a little dab of oil in there, and then just work that bearing or work whatever mechanical is moving, and make sure that it's working correctly. And then your first cast and your probably first 5 casts, while you're retrieving that thing in, when you can actually see it coming in towards your kayak or boat, gander down into the water. Make sure it's swimming correctly. If it's swimming sideways, or the blade's not turning, or the tail's not kicking right, take that thing out and do whatever you got to do to get that thing working right. So eyeball down. If you're throwing the A-rig, make sure all the baits are lined up. They're not kinked up or something like that, because the percentage of catching a fish is going to go down dramatically if you don't keep an eye on your swim baits, your A-rig, or your spinner bait, or your crankbait, whatever. If it's not working right, you're just chucking it out there and hoping to catch a fish. And that, for me, that's probably all the tips I'm going to give tonight. But make sure preparation is everything, guys. You don't want to miss the big fish, because that's what's going to win it. Guarantee it. Guarantee, because all these guys are going to catch fish, but it's about landing that big fish. And make sure your drag set up correctly. It's supposed to be 20% of the line. You got a 10-pound line, 2 pounds of drag. Most of you guys can just grab it and feel it, and make sure that drag set up. But before you go out, you got a few minutes. Check your drag pull. Make sure it's not too tight and it's not too loose. You got anything you want to add to that, Roman?
No, that sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, preparation, man. Like doesn't have to be the night before, but anytime during that week, just go through your gear, make sure everything's working correctly. All right, and with that, I'm gonna move over to PB shoutouts, Roman. So let me go ahead and exit this, and we are gonna move on to PB shoutouts.
Oh my gosh, I'm beat up. We had jiu-jitsu today, and I am beat up. Sorry, everything hurts. That's why I'm kind of like. But how many rods are too many rods?
That's a good question, Larry. So typically in my boat, I've been getting down to less and less for some reason. I've got down to this time of the year. I kind of know what baits I'm going to throw, and I usually take about 6 rods.
Pretty good.
Whatever you feel comfortable with. I always bring a redundant rod. Like if I'm using my slow pitch jig, the Submission Fishing Co. jig, I bring 2 rods for that, just in case one fails. Like I'm afraid it's going to fail. And then I have the exact same rod set up. And that's also if the bite is super hot. If you're a crankbait guy, usually have 2 crankbaits set up. So if you get a backlash or something, the bite's hot, you can just put that one away and then keep fishing your confidence bait again and again. Or hookup baits. If you got a hookup bait, you got 2 different weights, say. You got your 3/8 or your 5/8, and you depending on the water depth. So yeah, I definitely would. I would say, I don't know if too many. I think I went out once with Salty Dangler. We had like 14 rods between the 2 of us in an SPS tournament. That seemed like a lot. My boat partner George brings 15 rods. Wow.
He must be really good. He must be really good at catching fish.
One person, 15 rods. That's
hey, you gotta cover all the angles.
I was once in it's a quick story. I was once in a one bass open. It's like a freshwater bass series, and you go in as a co and a captain. And one of the co's, who's a guest to the boat, the captain owns the boat, and the co shows up, and the co showed up with 3 backpacks and 14 rods. And the captain said, "Listen, you get 5 rods and 1 backpack, so take that stuff back to your truck and figure out where you're gonna fish." But 3 backpacks worth of gear. So I mean, there is a little bit too much, especially when you're coming on somebody else's boat.
Oh my gosh.
But if you're on your own kayak, you bring what you want, right? Or your own boat, you bring what you want. That's no joke. George brings that many rods.
All right, here we go. Ready?
I'm ready.
Time for PB shoutouts. Here we go.
We've seen you out on the water. They say you fishing harder. I guess we'll find out this week on our PB Shoutout.
Let's go. That's Cal up front, double fisting. Got a few faces on there too that I've spliced on there. Salty Dangler making a comeback here. Salty Dangler, what are you doing? I haven't seen Salty Dangler in months. What's going on, Salty? Anyway, that's Cal up front, double fisting. If you want to be on PB Shoutouts, send me a picture and a story on Discord or Instagram. Brian Likes to Fish, and I'll put on anything. Let me tell you, we got some pretty cool PB shoutouts here. And also, I do this segment also called Cut or Cast. You saw one in the beginning. If you have a trick or tip you want to show off, see what everybody thinks. Maybe old to you, but it may be new to somebody else. So send me in those tips, and we'll get that also on PB shoutouts. All right, you ready?
Ready.
All right, hold on. I got to grab my paperwork over here to read now. First up, we got a Cut or Cast. You ready?
Oh, cut or cast. Let's do it.
Cut or cast.
Yeah, cool one too. I like this one. I never even thought of this, but it seems like a pretty good idea. All right, bam, here we go. Stephen Gage writes in. He says, "Hey, Brian, I have something for cut or cast. Thank you for sending that in." He says, "For some of my crankbaits, I add a lead wire I wrap around the front hook." There's your lead wire. And he wraps it around the front hook like that. This helps it dive deeper and also helps it slow ascend when I stop reeling. Interesting, Roman. I kind of like this idea, especially in the saltwater. Sometimes those things are a little more buoyant than they were designed for, because they're basically designed for the freshwater world. So when it says 20 feet deep, when you're in saltwater, that thing may only go 19 feet deep or 18 or 15 feet deep. You're not quite sure. But if you add a little bit of weight, you want to get down to the bottom, because that's where our fish are at. Add a little weight, and I like the idea of it maybe sinking slowly, unless you break it off and it doesn't float back up. But I like the idea of it slinking a little slowly. Does it affect its swim, though? That's my only question about it. So what do you guys think? Lead wire wrapped around the front hook to make it descend slowly. And you know what? Spotties, too. I'm trying to sell this, by the way, Roman.
That's cool.
Spotties also are almost... A lot of the spotties you catch are going to be on when it's a fall. Like when the bait is coming down, you drop it next to whatever you're fishing, and they see that thing coming down, they hit it on the fall. So a lot with a crankbait, you could let that thing kind of fall slowly down, and give it a couple cranks when it gets deep, and maybe it'll get hit. So I don't know. Interesting idea. Brett Wilson, I'm curious. Have you ever tried this? I see him fishing crankbaits constantly. Salty Dangler also crankbait. You guys try this? So cut or cast, guys. What do you think?
Wow.
There we go.
Some good results
140 votes in so far. 140. I'm gonna let this go a couple of minutes. So, and I'll let me swing it back and show you what he uses real quick on these photos. Right there, lead wire, ex-fisherman, and it looks like it's 0.04. That must be the diameter, or 1 millimeter. Looks like a roll of solder almost. Huh?
Yeah, it does.
Pretty cool. I didn't know that existed. There you go, guys.
That's
so
good action.
200 votes in, Roman. What do we got here? It is.
This is a cast. There we go. That's pretty cool. It's a good idea.
It's great action. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Dan, it does look like solder. Still has great action. So if you guys want to try something new, you crankbait guys out there, if you don't know this, try it out. There you go. He's got his whole selection right there with it. All right, next up, Are you ready? We got this guy right here. If you don't know who that is Jeff from One Cool Tuna, the inventor, the owner, always in chat. What's up, Jeff? I'm sure Jeff will be hopefully down at the award ceremony. He's one of our sponsors down there. So make sure you go over and say hi to Jeff. And thanks for making an awesome iron. All right. Jeff said he had a busy Sunday. He was at the Yellowtail Shootout. Winning team took home $16,000 in prizes. Why are we not fishing Yellowtail, Roman? $16,000 in prizes. Big Yellowtail was a 38-pounder, and he won $2,500 and an OTC jig stick. Here we go. Here's your winners right here. Look at that kid on the bottom.
That's cool.
He's taking home is that right, Jeff? $6,600? Wow. What do you spend that on when you're that age? Jeez. A lot of Takis and Mountain Dew.
Hopefully buy some Bitcoin. Jeez.
I don't know, man. That's crazy there. Yellowtail. Looks like Bloody Dex put that on. I gotta get better at fishing Yellowtail. Here's your big fish winners. Taking home looks like is that 2,500 or 30? I can't read that.
Where was it? Where was it? Where's our money?
38.
Is that Coronado Brew?
38. Yeah, it looks like Portuguese Hall to me.
Is it? I've never been inside. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it looks like the Portuguese Hall to me. So there you go. And here's looks like a trophy that Jeff made himself. That's pretty cool. So I also went to the Tuna War banquet to meet up with Captain Dan Pizza and the Wicked Tuna guys. Wow, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool you met Captain Dan. Okay, you met the Wicked Tuna. Captain Dan's obviously the most. And then we got these guys. All right, next up. It looks like Jeff went out on again. So I got multiple shout outs of this trip. This trip sounds amazing. So I'm going to intermingle in all your guys' pictures for this. But if you don't know who that is, that's Jeff, Corey, Cal, and Dave. What's up, Dave Ridge? Dave Ridge says they went out on a 1.5-day trip on the Pacific Queen, this boat right here, Pacific Queen, last Wednesday with Cal, Jeff, Corey, and some of the other charters. First night started off around 12:30 with a huge tangled amount of 10 guys at the stern that looked like a drunken spider web. Wow, that's terrible. A few fish were caught on the stop. We did a few more stops that night, a total around 24 bluefin going around 40 or 50 pounds. Wow, that's pretty good right there. Dave obviously catching one right there. We caught fish on heavy gear, 80 to 100-pound test, using skinny jigs from 150 to 400 grams. I caught my first 50-pounder on a 100-pound mono top shot using a 300-gram knife jig with a 130-pound bite leader. Awesome, Dave. Congratulations on getting that 50-pounder. It must be it right there. He says Corey and Cal also hooked up the first night. The next day was a very long boat ride searching for anything willing to bite. We stopped a few times for nothing, and some people caught some 8 to 12-pound bonitos. Hey, 12-pound bonito, that's pretty good fight on light gear. And here we go. Got a video here, actually. Dave Ridge, thanks for submitting a video. See if I can get this thing to go.
Yes, dude. That's cool.
Look at those fish.
There goes fish. That's so crazy.
Nice job there, Dave. Looks like he got on a slow pitch jig. Looks like a submission fishing code.
It's a big one, too.
Yeah. All right. Here. Well, geez, here's the boat right here.
Wow.
It says overcast most of the day. It was chilly and windy. The wind was whipping around noon, created white caps, making for it hard to find the fish. Food was good. Breakfast burritos, boat burgers. Lunch was short rib stew and bread bowls for dinner.
Yum.
Yes, that was very good. He says, yum. Once the second night came around, we stopped for nothing. The second stop, though, the bite was wide open. As you can see, this boat's fully loaded. There were fish all over the deck when we walked around. Some fish from the night before. We planned on to fish till midnight to the latest. Our final stop was around 10 p.m. and we got our limits. It was wide open biting. Captain called in 2 other boats to hit this school. They pulled up to us about 40 yards away from us and then got instantly bit. That's cool. The captain shared that.
Mm-hmm.
We left and headed home early. Boat got limits of 40 to 70 pound bluefin and some bonito, measured pretty good. There's a full boat right there. It was great heading
cool.
out with Cal, Jeff, and Corey and his daughter and son and grandson Drake. Looking forward to hitting the rail with this crew again. Let's go. Look at that. Pulling in like bosses. Dang, packaging it up for you. There you go. And there's Corey with his. Corey got a little bit story he wanted to tell too. I'm sorry, Jeff got a story he wanted to tell. He said went out with Corey David for the 1.5 day. Got limits on bluefin around the 50 to 80 pound range. Great trip with my MFC buddies. Got 1 bluefin. I got 2 of each, a bluefin and a bonito. And Cal, who went on the same trip. I love how Cal starts his PB shot. It says, "Dear Brian." I like that, Cal. Thank you. I went out on Pacific Queen and landed on the 1.5 day trip and limited out. I threw a 200 gram and 500 gram submission fishing coat ogre knife jig with a 60 to 100 pound setups. And it was nice. Grade tuna, 40 to 60 pound. That's a perfect size to me. Like 40 to 60, that's fun. You know, you get into those big 100, 200 pounders. That sounds like a nightmare to me. I don't know. There he is, Jeff, catching his bluefin. And you guys had a great trip here. Look at this. There's Cal up front, double fisting. I expected this picture, Cal. That's what Cal does. All right. So a great tuna trip. Those guys are out there. And then Roman, who Corey brought over some of his bluefin to hand off to him, made this plate right here. Did you see this, Roman?
Oh, yeah. I took one of the pieces that Corey gave me. It was frozen. I guess they vacuum sealed it and froze it at the processor. I took it. I thawed it in the fridge, and then I wrapped it with napkins maybe like 3 or 4 times before it wasn't leaking any more juice or I guess water. And basically dry aged it, right? And then I cut it up and made some sushi rice, and I also had some sashimi straight up just with soy sauce and a little bit of it's like seaweed, sesame, kind of like umami flavoring or powder, I guess you could say, dust. And I also put a little bit of sesame oil. That was good.
That's pretty. And let me guess, when you made that, did the boys come running out?
Oh yeah.
It was on.
Julian
right?
had his chopsticks out before it was when he saw me start cutting it. He was sitting there the whole time with the chopsticks in his hand while I was cutting all those pieces.
Oh yeah.
He was ready. Yeah.
I haven't caught a bluefin yet this year, and I haven't had any yet. I'm missing it. We got one 2 years ago. That thing was. That's the best.
Thanks.
I don't think there's anything.
Look at Steven. Steven calls it. Steven knows what it's called. Furikake is the actual seasoning. It's like it comes in a little jar, but it has all that stuff: sesame seed, a little bit of seaweed, a little bit of salt. It's good.
That looks good. All right, next up, we got this guy right here. And if you don't know who that is Jared.
Nice.
He says, okay, Jared's been trying a new fishing technique. He says, Brian, here's some ratfish from Bear. If you don't know what a ratfish is, look at that lure he's got in there.
That's a cool
So if you've ever casted a rat, it's pretty cool. They're really heavy, and you can cast your entire spool if you're going with the wind. So it's a fun bait to fish. Get these monster long casts, and then it works on the topwater bait. So when you get a ratfish, it's like something special because you get to see the whole action of it. Like the fish come up and nail it. It's pretty cool. So if you haven't tried rat fishing, try it out. It says, this is my first year catching some on the rat at Lake Barrett. Cool. All the bites were super sick. My new favorite style, it's so aggressive. I was using an 8-foot heavy dowel rod with a Lexa 300. Like I said, it was super rad. This is only for some that I got. Hold on, I'm gonna show a few pictures. The top water was going off. Now, if you hear a top water bite is going off in the largemouth community, there's nothing more exciting. So there you go. It's got a rat right there. Dang, that thing's big too. That's a big fish. Did you change out the tail, or is that just black on top? So there you go. You got four more ratfish. Yeah, and you get those big gnarly rods, and you get that straight braid, so you get that killer hook set. It's crazy.
That's fun.
That's some fun stuff. All right, next up,
we got Curtis asking a question real quick. Curtis is asking, how does he get his PB shout out to you? So Curtis, you can do it one of two ways. You can message Brian on Instagram at Brian Likes to Fish, or you could join our Discord server and you'll see Brian in one of our Discord servers, and you can message him via DM there and send him the photos and the story behind your catch.
The best way to do it is through Discord. So join our MFC Discord. You're not in already, Curtis, and just direct message me a picture and a story of whatever you caught or any modifications you made to your craft, anything. I'll put it on there. Or Instagram if you're on Instagram. If you don't know who that is Kevin Keller. Moving on to the next round in playoffs. Not only is his nickname is HBD Bates Bassmaster. What's up, dude? That's Kevin Keller right there. He says, here's the story with this thing. Newport River mouth. I didn't know. I don't know LA very much. Wow. I didn't know it had a Newport River mouth. Did you?
No,
I never heard of
cool.
this. Oh, I know there's fish like that. I think once we had Ken.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ken Color Striper, right?
Ken had a video up there. Yeah. The PCH is background. Okay, that's the PCH in the background. Thanks for showing that. Caught on an ultralight trout setup, 6-pound test. It took me over an hour. Thought I had a ray. From fight lucky. This guy got lucky fighting this guy down to the fish, and I was trying to release him. Oh, he's saying that he flagged somebody down to take a picture of this fish right there. Yeah, you catch that on 6-pound trout rod, dude. That had to be an amazing fight. That had to be have you ever fished with a trout rod?
It's like a tuna. It's like fishing a tuna. It's like catching a tuna.
First of all, if you're somebody on shore and you see somebody with a trout rod, it's usually a longer rod, and the thing is fully bent. So it looks amazing because you're like leaning back and this rod is like full bendo, no matter usually what you have on the end. So that must have looked amazing to everybody watching you catch that thing for an hour. He said, sure, as long as I get a good pic of me, probably the light line world record, but I didn't have time to get it properly documented. I had to go to work. Light line record. Yeah, 6-pound, dude. That was amazing. So that's an awesome PB shout out right there. That is cool. Honestly, I can't believe it. That would be in the Newport River. I cannot believe that would be in there, but that is awesome. I got to check that place out. So congratulations on that. Next up, I took a cool picture. I finally got to meet up during playoffs and meet some new faces out there. We got Lim, Larry, Vince, and Carl Black down there on the Pond Prowler. It's good talking to you guys. There's a couple pictures from Spotty Bowl this weekend. It's always fun when you fish Spotty Bowl, and then all these guys are such good competitors. We get to go out and tell our fish stories at the end. Let each other kind of know how we did, or exaggerate, or play it down, whatever your strategy is. But it's fun to meet everybody afterwards. And then there's Lem right there putting on the buff. See, I told you guys, he got a buff. He's got a perfect setup there. Look, long sleeve. He's got a buff. He's got his hat, got his sunglasses on, got all fully covered everything up. You got to do that this weekend, guys. With full sun out there. Caught me some big fish over there. Love that bay right there. And still working on this show, guys, coming up. I got the ultrasonic cleaner. Still giving little hints of this. It's going to be a pretty cool show, I think. So figuring out what works and what doesn't work in this ultrasonic cleaner. I don't know. To me, this is something new. I never owned one of these, and it's pretty interesting how it works.
I still need to give you that reel.
Oh, yeah. Roman's got a reel that you pulled up off the bottom. Was it Mission Bay?
Yeah, it's got like crustaceans on it and stuff. It's got yeah.
I'll soak that thing
going on it.
Ultrasonic cleaner, see what it'll do. Yeah, bring it to the award ceremony.
Okay.
With that, we're going to move on to Spotty Bowl Biggins. If you got a Spotty 15 inches or bigger, it is time. I almost forgot. It is time for
Spotty Bowl Biggins.
Got a fish 15 inches or bigger. It's going to be put in here this term. Keith Michael catching a 16.5. Nice fish there, Michael. Gosh, you needed 2 of those to beat Chad, though. But that's a nice kicker fish right there. Brett Wilson with a 15.75. You know it's warm weather when Brett's pulling out the Hawaiian shorts. You know, it's Hawaiian short season. That's our barometer for water temperature right there. I'm guessing the water temperature is about 69, 70, maybe 71. So Brett's got those shorts on, you know. I like the way that one finger measure, too, right there. Phil Hernandez. What's up, Phil? Going on to the championship round with the 16.5. Phil, what's with that bump board, though? All this Canadian numbers down here. And, man, that's a hard one to read right there. It works, but it's a hard one to read. Make sure when you're in the playoffs, you get that tail up there so the judge can judge it off that. We don't know how to convert this number down here. I don't even know what that is. That's centimeter, millimeter? I don't know. Anyway, nice fish there, Phil. Jose Sandoval pulling in an amazing bag. 15, 16 incher. Look at all those crankbaits, guys. I'm just saying, from a float tube, too. I'm just saying. Is that a Berkeley dredger? Davey Brown, 15.5, showing off the tattoo right there. Not giving us any hints. I can't see. Oh, I see something there. What is that, Roman? I'm pointing right at it. I know what that is.
Oh, yeah, I know what that is, too.
What flavor do you think that is?
Probably shrimp.
You don't know what that is. Procure right there. So somebody believes in scent. I believe in scent. Vinny Stroop, good meeting you out there on the water. 17 incher. Vinny, how come you get me? No, I saw him out there fishing. I didn't hear him scream like Salty Dangler or anything. He must have caught that. Like, I'm going to keep this low key. No screaming. No come over and look at this. No nothing. 17. You better watch out, though, Vinny. You only got, if you catch over an 18 incher, your board's missing the second half of it. I don't know. You better carry a backup. You never know. That board's looking like it's had its time, man.
How'd you get
bump plate?
Vinny, how did Vinny get his kayak without getting his shoes wet? That's all I want to know.
I know, dude. In jeans.
I know.
Vinny's throwing out the Nikes too. That's awesome.
Vinny's launching that thing off the dock.
Some people go out there in style, man.
Yeah.
Go out there in style. You never know. Maybe he's a single guy. You know. Who knows?
might run into the one.
Amazing fish, Vinny. How come you didn't tell me about that? And where did you catch it? Larry E. 15.25, 15.5. Pulling out the Gorilla Grip gloves. That's awesome. You can get those at Home Depot right there. And he's with me. He's fishing the Crocs. Let's go, Croc Club. You know, with the Crocs, because I'm standing up in my boat the whole time, I get like these gel insoles.
Those things are so comfy. Yeah.
I don't go to like out like dinner dates or anything with my Crocs on. I only wear them on my boat when nobody's looking, you know, so I'm sneaky that way. But if you got Crocs.
It's like riding a moped, right?
Double it up, the gel insole. Dang. I wish I could just only wear Crocs.
You gelling?
Have you ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
No, I've seen scenes. I haven't actually sat through the whole thing.
Well, when Crocs first,
it's too close to reality nowadays.
When Crocs before they hit it big, you know, like everybody's wearing them now, but the director said, "Get me the weirdest, like idiotic looking shoe you can get for this movie. It's called Idiocracy, and I want to have everybody wear it so it looks so weird." And so if you go back and watch that movie, they're all wearing Crocs before they became popular, and now you see them all over the place. But back then it was like, what are they wearing? What are those weird looking things?
God.
Chad, hookup baits. What a bag. 6 big ones. 15.25, 15.25, 15.5, 15.5, 65, 16, 2 16s. Dang. Let me guess what you caught those on. Crankbait? No. Every single one of there's his color guide. So I think that's the squid color, if I know right. So he's got every one of them on that. So take notes. Take notes. Looks like, I don't know the size of that. Any hookup bait guys, let's say that's 3/8, 5/8 maybe. Next up, Cash coming in with a 79-inch bag. Dang. Also got some hookup baits in the picture. Also part of Team Hookup Baits right there. Got some nice fish. Good pictures. Nice job, Cash. You going to have your handfuls this weekend? Yeah. Jojo, congratulations to Chad. That's an awesome bag. So, I mean, geez, 78.5. But Cash, Chad, have fun this weekend. That's going to be cool to see. Brian likes fish coming 16, 17, 16, 2.5, 16, 3/16s. Got lucky, 15, 15, 15, 15. Just got lucky. I positioned myself in the right place at the right time. That's all I can say. Everybody in this tournament knows how to fish. It's just whoever is in the right place at the right time. That's all I got to say at this point. So a lot of luck involved in this. And big fish of the tournament, of course, is that 17-incher Vinny Stroop. Congratulations on that big fish. Is that your PP? Not too far from the biggest fish in the tournament. And with that, Roman, I'm going to exit my screen share. Man, there we go.
Wild.
Wow. I know. And guess what? This weekend we got playoffs, Mission Bay playoff. I got to face a judge. And everybody in this chat, you know, it's going to be cheering for the judge, including me. So go for it, judge. Try to make that championship run. But I'm not going to give it to you. So this weekend, I'm going to be partying, Roman. I'm going to be out there. Hold on. Ooh, that was rough. I'm going to be out there snagging grass, catching bass. Let's do it, judge. Good luck to tight lines to everybody in the playoffs. I'll see you guys on the water. I'll see you next week with the results. I'm out of here. Later, guys.
Nice job, Brian. Take a Brian out with a round of applause from the live studio audience. There we go. Oh my gosh, that's wild. Hey, look at that. It's only 8:15. That's nice.
20 minutes of bad joke.
You have time for a dad joke, dude. Get it in there. Get it in there. Go.
Are you sure?
Dad jokes.
What did you say? My wife. Speaking of my wife, Roman. My wife asked me, why do I keep pushing her buttons? And I said, because I'm looking for the mute.
There you go.
There you go, Ken. Sorry.
Once again, round of applause for the last 2 hours for Brian. Thank you, Leonard and Salty, for helping me mod today. What up, Ron? Good to see you in here, Ron. Also, big shout out, a big thank you to the judge for all his hard work in judging the tournament and going through all those fish. I hope that this at least these past few weeks will be as many as before, but yeah, a ton of work. Putting the show together, getting everything set up, getting all the stats, getting all the PB shoutouts. You too, Brian. Thanks for doing all that work yourself too. Man, it's cool to watch this community grow and to see Spotty Bowl evolve and get bigger and bigger and better and better. And I'm just looking forward to next year already because it's gonna be awesome. If we can do 4 divisions in San Diego and 4 divisions in LA, it seems like we're getting we're growing, and it's a good thing. So a lot of the community will benefit from it. We'll spread the fishing ways, I guess, right? The stoke of getting in there and fishing. Give you guys a place to get started with your competition journey, and it's good for the whole overall scene, right? So we'll be back here tomorrow for another results show. Sorry, not tomorrow. On Wednesday for another results show. But until then, remember, may the bite be with you. Woo! All right.